you're in the house, buddy. How you doing? Glad you're on our episode of Crypto Corner.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Very excited to talk to you today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great hour. I want to welcome everybody to Crypto Corner, and today we have Pedro, who is the CFO of NiftyFuse. We have Simona, who is part of Null's marketing. Michael from Cobalt Lend, and myself, Kathy Norman. And what I'd like to do today is ask everyone to introduce themselves, and then we're going to switch over to Simona so she can talk about our Twitter campaign. It's very late where Simona is, so Simona can talk first, and then she can get some sleep. So, Pedro, would you start by introducing yourself, please?
Of course. So, hello everyone. I'm Pedro Ferreira. I'm the CFO of NiftyFuse. I'm a crypto lover. I entered this world 3 years ago, and since the start, I'm loving this space, the community, the project, and the future of humanity with crypto. In my opinion, will be great. So, and that's it, basically.
Thanks, Pedro. And I too think about the future of humanity with crypto. Thank you. Ms. Simona, would you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name's Simona. And as Kathy already told you, I'm from the Null's marketing team. I joined a couple of months ago, and I will later tell you about more about our Stakeathon. And yes.
Okay, thank you, Simona.
Sure.
And Michael, always great to see you. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I am Michael from Cobalt Lend, Michael Rapp to be exact, and I am a blockchain consultant is the best way to describe my actual role. But I am the founder of Cobalt. It's obviously it's a set up a bunch of teams of open source coders that basically build blockchain applications across multiple platforms. They're also building a decentralized treasury. The Tungsten team is. We have our artificial intelligence team that's handling copyright issues. Cobalt actually has a lot of things going on, but the end result of usually why I'm here hanging out with you every day, Kathy, or on Mondays, is because I'm usually considered a blockchain consultant for the ecosystem. So, and I love being here with you guys and actually talking to the new projects coming on. I was actually looking at NiftyFuse right here. I love everything these guys got going on. I really don't know what I want to talk about first. I want to talk about NiftyFuse and their product and how they got onto the SEO platform and how they're actually able to fuse, two NFTs into one. That's their tagline. So I want to talk about that. At the same time, I really want to talk to Simona too. I know that, she had a small introduction there, but I want to go back and talk to her a little bit about the Stakeathon. This is exciting. The Knowles ecosystem has a Stakeathon going on right now to where they're actually drawing people into the ecosystem, trying to get new people in there, benefit all the projects, and allow everybody to get some extra tokens. So again, just super excited, pumped to be here on this Monday. I really don't know who I want to talk to first. So Kathy, I'm going to kick it back over to you and just ask you, who is it that you want to talk to first? What do we want to do? We want to talk to the project. We want to talk more about the promotion.
Yeah, Michael, the topics are vast, and it's kind of like a buffet of desserts. Which dessert are you going to try first, or how many desserts can you fit on your plate without overloading it? So I just want to take a moment and introduce myself. My name is Kathy Norman. You can always reach me at KathyN13, and if I don't reply to you right away, please just ping me again. Either I don't know how to manage Telegram well, or I get so many messages I don't know what to do. It's one of the other. And I've been with Nulls for, I think, 2 years. and it's a pleasure and an honor to work for Nulls. I did it because I wanted to learn more about blockchain. I come from the IT space, so I've spent most of my life trying to make sure that something in the IT world is extremely secure. And I became very attracted to blockchain because blockchain handles its security so easily. And now I'm going to turn it over to Simona. Simona, please talk to us about the Twitter campaign that you've got set up.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Kathy. So I like to talk about you guys about our Stakeathon. It is halfway through, but you can still enter now and get a chance of winning one of the 50 prizes. Just a recap from the last time. If you haven't already joined our Stakeathon, this is how you enter it. Either you are currently staking in one of our Nulls SEO projects or project, then you enter the Stakeathon automatically. But also, if you're a new investor and you haven't bought Nulls before, if you buy them now and then stake them in an SEO project during this Stakeathon period, you enter the draw automatically. And the Stakeathon is still running until November 7th. So you still got plenty of time to enter it. And during this time, all your Nulls staked in SEO projects will be taken into account and function as your weight for the draw. And now what is new is that this week on the 27th of October at midnight UTC, we will announce our Stakeathon Halloween Twitter special. By joining this Twitter campaign, your account will get an additional weight of $200 worth of Nulls for the whole period of the Stakeathon. So if you join this campaign, you can increase the probability of winning one of the 50 prizes. And yes, the detailed participation steps will be announced in our tweet on Twitter, but it is basically you're eligible for the additional weight if you create a Halloween themed meme about Nulls and your favorite SEO project, and then tweet it and share it in our Nulls community on Telegram. And we're really looking forward to all these spooky and fun memes created by our community. And then also on Twitter, we're communicating the SEO tokens that entered our prize pool for the big draw over the next days, so that you really can see which SEO project tokens you can win besides the share of the 5,000 Nulls that are in the prize pool. And if you have questions or additional information about the Stakeathon, you'll find on Twitter in our pinned tweet, and also on Nulls Medium. And last but not least, I wish everyone that participates in the Stakeathon good luck. And as I just said, really looking forward to fun and spooky memes on Twitter. Thank you, Kathy.
Oh, thanks, Simona. And Michael, you had some questions for Simona?
I sure did. I really just wanted to clarify for the audience first and foremost that you don't. It's already, this is being applied to the current stakers. The people that are already staking, they don't have to do anything to keep doing what they're already doing. Correct?
Yes, that's true. It is. You just enter automatically if you're already staking, or if you stake more Nulls, you just increase your probability to winning now, but you don't have to do anything if you're already staking. Yeah, that's true.
That is so awesome. And to follow up with the Twitter campaign, as I understand it, you're actually working with all the social media promoters right now to get this message out there. Is that correct?
Yes, we're working with Altcoin Sarah and Piece of the Pie, and we're also gathering other YouTube influencers at the moment and contacting them to really spread the message out there on Twitter and YouTube and get more people to learn about our Stakeathon, but also our whole Nulls ecosystem in general. Yes.
That is awesome. So, and as far as the Twitter campaign goes, obviously we want to let everybody know when and how much longer they have to do this. So, as you said earlier, are we halfway in, or did this just start? How much more time is all the people got to know? Because I want to let my people on Twitter know too. How much more time they got to get involved in our Stakeathon right now?
It's roughly 2 weeks. The Stakeathon will be over on the 7th of November on midnight. Yeah. But it's roughly 2 weeks in. It started on the October 11th and it's running until the 7th of November at midnight. Yeah.
That's really awesome. Oh, good. So at least with the people got 2 more weeks to get involved. And as far as the rewards being paid out, when does that happen? Is that a week or two after the promotion ends? When do the rewards get paid out to the people?
Yeah, it is. We will announce the winners on Telegram and on Twitter, on our NALS Twitter on the 15th of November, a week later.
Oh, that's really cool.
Then, after like we told who the winners is, we will pay them the rewards in the, like a couple of days later, or yeah.
That's great. And obviously, because they're in our ecosystem, we already have their wallet addresses from the snapshots of the blockchain. So you don't even need to bother them to do any registering, right? You just pay the rewards.
We just send them the rewards right away. Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. Everybody loves a nice, easy contest. Now, can you tell us, do you have anything lined up for that to go after that promotion is over, or is it too early to talk about anything like that yet?
We're currently planning some stuff, but we're also just having a look at how the Stakeathon went. What is the feedback of the community? Did they like it? Then we'll probably plan something similar in the future, or we'll explore other areas. And yeah, but here I can't already like tell you too much.
No, I understand completely. And it's always a good thing to watch the contest and, basically analyze the analytics after the fact to make sure that everything went well. So I understand that completely.
Yeah.
And I know that you can't talk about any kind of December promotion until obviously we get further into November. So I'm always just peeking and prying there. So you did great. Awesome. Thank you so much. And before we kick it back over to Pedro at NiftyFuse, Kathy, do you got anything you want to jump in there and talk about? I know I don't always cover every aspect, especially when we got a cool promotion like this going on. Is there anything you want to add there, Kathy?
So just, Simona, let's talk for a few minutes about this weight, which is the WEIGHT weight. Can you use an example? Like, let's say I stake 100 nulls in a particular project for the entire month. What does this additional weight that I can get from the Twitter campaign? What is all that about?
Okay, if you say you stake 100 nulls for the whole period of the Stakeathon, the whole period is 28 days. So your total weight without the Twitter campaign would be 100 nulls times 28. And then if you fulfill all the requirements of the Twitter campaign, you don't actually get the nulls, of course, but you have these 100 nulls, and then we add to your account the 200 nulls, and we just your final weight of your account will be 300 nulls for the whole period of the Stakeathon. So it is quite a bit, your probability to winning is really bigger, because we say that you have this increased weight of 200 nulls worth of dollars for the whole 28 days of the Stakeathon, and not just for the 5 days that the Twitter campaign is online. So yeah, you can increase your probability of winning quite a bit.
Yeah, that's terrific, because if I had just staked 100 nulls, now you're adding 200 nulls to that. It's actually substantially increasing my weight and then my opportunity to win. That's very cool. And also, just want to remind everybody that it's never too late to enter this campaign, because it's all related to how many days you stake and the amount that you've staked. So if I've staked 100 nulls for 28 days, that is equal to me staking 200 nulls for 14 days. So, you don't have to. You're never too late to the game. And since this is a draw, and as we know, everything is random in this universe, or at least that's what people tell me. Everything is random in this universe. Even if I stake on the last day, that gives me an opportunity to enter the draw. And of course, the real benefit of staking, which is to contribute to our SCO projects and earn the tokens of the SCO projects that I stake into. Okay. All right. Anything else, Ms. Simona?
No, that would be all from my side. Yes, if you have questions, please just send them in Null's community, or otherwise check out our tweet, as I said, or our Medium article about the Stakeathon. Yes, happy staking, everyone.
Yes, thank you, and thanks, Simona, for you guys. This is I think it's your first campaign that you've managed for nulls. Am I right, Simona?
Yes, that's true. This is
Yeah,
my first actual campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had
So,
very good support from Kathy. It's our campaign.
Wow.
Yes.
Anyway, it's been I think it's a really great campaign, and there's a lot of balls in the air, and you've done a really great job, Simona, on juggling all these balls. So thank you.
Thank you,
guys, please post your questions in Null's community. And Simona, hang around if you can. And now let's turn it over to Pedro. Do you want to start, Michael, with your questions for Pedro?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, first and foremost, man, he has got to tell me more about how to fuse two NFTs into one. What exactly is going on there? What do you mean? Pedro, come in, buddy. Talk to me. Let's get it down right there.
Hey everyone. First, I would like to do a small presentation. It's better for the ones that don't know what NiftyFuse is, so I can explain more in detail how we are going to fuse NFTs. So NiftyFuse is a platform that allows users to fuse two NFTs into one, and much more. Basically, we are trying to solve a huge problem in the NFT market, which is the inexistence of a max supply. So we are introducing a flexible max supply in the NFT market. This flexible max supply is achievable because we allow users that own two NFTs to burn those NFTs and create a new one. But this is only an option. Obviously, you may not want to burn the NFTs. So you may want only to create a new one that is the fusion of two NFTs. We give that option to the users. But basically, how are we going to fuse two NFTs? Basically, what we are going to do is to join the metadata of the NFTs and combine two examples of the image of two NFTs. For example, imagine that you have two CryptoPunks and you want, for a reason, fuse them into one to save gas for transferring them, etc. You can use our platform to fuse those two CryptoPunks into one. The metadata will be the same of the two punks, and the image will be basically a combination of the two. Obviously, you may think, but the royalties will now go to the platform, to the NiftyFuse. So we introduced a system that allows us to redistribute the royalties to the legit owners of the original two NFTs. I think, I hope
I
everyone
like it.
understands.
So is this all EVM compatible? So, and again, my next question after that would be, is it open source protocol that you allow others to build off of, or what's going on there? Talk
Yes.
to me about the code, if you can.
Yes, it will be an open source code. We will not share it at the start, obviously, because we are still auditing, etc. But it will be in the future open to everyone who wants to develop more things attached to the platform. The code is not ready yet. We are still developing it, but we can share a little preview. I will share it in the chat on how it will work. Let me put the video. If you check.
Oh yeah, definitely. Please, if you're going to drop a video, also drop all your pertinent links to your Telegram group and your website and everything in the Knowles chat.
I already shared. The social networks, etc. I think you already can see a sneak peek of how it will work. There you have two examples with one Bored Ape and another Bored Ape, and you can see the combination of the two. That is only an example. We are just adding two halves of the NFTs and joining them. But in the future, we will have more types of combinations. More about the code. The code is very simple. You just need to own two NFTs. We will check if you own the two NFTs because we don't want to have problems of copywriting things. For example, you can only join or fuse two NFTs that you own. For example, if you don't see value in the NFTs that you own and you want to get rid them out of your wallet, you can fuse them, for example, and send them to another wallet or placed in the marketplace with a new value, because we are deleting the value of the two original NFTs and creating a new one.
Okay, I'm checking out your video here. I like what you got going on. What all capabilities are you trying to expand into? I see you're trying to morph two JPEGs together, basically, or two just visual images. What about combining maybe a picture and a soundbite or something of that nature and producing a small MP4 video or something of that nature? Are you expanding into any of that?
Yes. That is one thing that we are trying to expand, but that is a little bit more difficult because the handling the sounds and fuse them, we will always try to add things in the metadata, and fuse them is a little bit more complicated with sound and video, etc. But we are trying to do it, and hopefully in the future we will do it. But right now we are more expanding into utility tokens. For example, for real estate certificates. I don't know if in the United States you have representations if you own a house or land. You have here in Portugal, where I live, you have certificates that prove that you are owner of those houses or lands. Basically, what we want is to allow users to fuse those certificates and create a representation that you own certain types of land or houses. And basically is that.
Okay, so talk to me more about that. Is it basically going to fuse? Okay, you're going to put two documents together. Is it now going to create a new document and basically destroy the two old documents, or what's happening here? How are you going to do that with land ownership?
With land ownership, you will have to burn the two original certificates, and create a new one, because you can only own one certificate of the house, or etc. But this is simpler. For example, if you for example, in apartments, it's easier to connect if you own two apartments in the same building. it's easier if you fuse the two certificates to match and have one that represents the two. We are doing partnerships with companies that are already placed in market, in the crypto market. For example, I don't know, there is a platform called realestate.co that is launching all certificates in the blockchain. Basically, we will partnership with them to allow them to fuse those certificates into one.
So I have a question, Pedro. I'm just going to interrupt you for a second, Michael. So Pedro, I like the idea, and certainly, you know, if I had two apartments in the same building or the neighborhood or whatever, taking the NFTs that represent those two apartments and fusing them together is a great idea. But what happens if in the future I decide I want to sell those apartments separately? What would I do?
You can do the reverse process. Like in engineering, you can reverse engineering the process that you made. You can make that too. You can diffuse them and create the two original NFTs that you burned to create the new one.
Okay, very good, very good. That sounds great. Now I have another question for you. So let's say I fuse two NFTs together for two apartments. I like this example of apartments, but I click, I select that I don't want to burn the old NFTs.
That option is only available for art NFTs, not
for art.
creativity
Okay,
NFTs.
so all right,
Yes,
not
is
available
a good
for.
question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. That keeps, of course, that keeps everybody honest in terms of selling property. Okay. Very good. Okay.
We don't want to create duplicates and duplicate NFTs. We want to put a limit. This is more easier to handle fees. For example, if you in the future in Ethereum, basically the gas fees will be huge, and we want to reduce that by simply saving the transactions that are made. And this is one example.
Yeah. Very good. Yes. I'm just writing that down. Reduce gas fees. I have one more question. And that is, could I merge more than two NFTs? Like, let's say I have three apartments, for example. Could I merge all three apartments into one NFT?
We didn't thought about that, but yeah, now that you're talking, yes, maybe in the future we add that option.
Yeah, that's great.
It makes sense.
You know, like,
it makes sense.
Well, it's just a question, and that's why we have these things. But yeah, I think I was imagining, for example, having 5 NFTs. I could imagine it would be an imagination for me to have 5 NFTs that represent 5 pieces of property. But it would be very nice to be able to merge them together and then and manage them as one file as opposed to 5 files. So that's very good. Okay, thank you. Back to you, Michael.
I would think first and foremost, to get around the trying to merge 3 NFTs together, you would be able to merge 2 NFTs together and then again repeat the process again with that new NFT and the NFT that would have been the 3rd NFT in your previous scenario. Is that
yes,
not correct?
It's true.
Okay,
You could do that too. Yeah, but
okay.
I think for simplicity and to save fees to the users, it will be simpler if you could fuse 3 NFTs at the same time. But yes, you could do that.
That's awesome. My next question would be, what about cross-chain capability? So could you, in a sense, merge a NFT, a JPEG of an NFT or a PNG, whatever, the front end, just basically a visual or an art piece from Ethereum, as well as one from the Binance chain, seeing as how they're a similar code base. Could you merge 2 of those together?
Right now, no, but that is one of the reasons we use null, because we want to do those cross-chain. We want to have those cross-chain capabilities in our platform. And one reason we choose nulls to launch our token and our project is because nulls allow us to do that. We are in conversations with Nabox about their ability to show NFTs and cross-chain NFTs, and they say that in the early 2022 they will have that option available, and if we can do it, we will launch at the same time our product that will allow to cross-chain and fuse two NFTs from different chains. Yes.
That is awesome.
That's
That is awesome.
a great question, Michael. And also, though, that's a great plan, Pedro. And it also, tells potential investors in your project that you're thinking ahead. Like, you are thinking ahead and also partnering with other companies in order to deliver the full capabilities of your idea. So good job there. Okay.
Yes.
I looked up on your website for a roadmap. I couldn't find it. Will you be posting a roadmap in the future? What are your ideas about letting people know what you're up to?
Yes, we don't have that uploaded in a website yet because we are still developing some features, more features that will become available, and some things that our users already reported to us as an important features, and we will upload it as soon as we have that ready. We don't want to disclose much because we don't yet in the market, and our competition could copy, etc. And we want to have a little secret in the middle, if you know what I mean.
No problem. It's good to keep secrets of development and design nature, and a planning nature. That's really important. And just actually your explanation as to where you are with your roadmap and the fact that you'll be posting something in the future when you're comfortable, that works. That's a great answer. Thank you. And Pedro, right now your team is 3 people. You, Nuno, and Tiago.
Yes.
Will you be expanding your team? What are your plans with respect to your team?
In fact, we are already 4.
Okay.
The website is not updated, but yes, we are 3 people. Me and Nuno are developers, and we are coding everything and talking to companies and other freelancer coders that already have some parts of codes. And Tiago is our relations. How I can say what is the job of Tiago? The job of Tiago is community management,
community
basically.
Guy? Okay.
And partnership.
Very good.
And partnerships, etc.
Okay, and then your 4th guy, what will your 4th guy do? Fourth person, you could say.
Is community manager too, but he codes too. But he codes.
Okay, all right. Very good. Okay, thank you. And so Pedro, I Googled you yesterday. Actually, I ended up Googling all Pedro Fiera that have NFT listed next to their name. So I got many versions of what was possibly you. So, but I did get one description that I thought might be you. Are you in school right now, Pedro?
Yes, I'm in the 5th grade of university.
Fantastic. Then you're working on a master's in computer science?
Yes, in the last year of the master
Very good.
computer science.
Okay, very good. Science. Very good. And congratulations. And that makes you a very busy person.
Yes, currently I have a lot of projects, but I'm betting my my money in NiftyFuse because I think it's a cool feature to have in the NFTs and have a lot of potential not only for art but for utility tokens too. I gave the example of land properties, properties and land, etc. But for example, if you have treasure certificates, you can fuse them too. For example, in the future, who knows if the government one day decides to launch certificates of treasure certificates on the blockchain. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. And so in your master's degree, are you working on a thesis or taking courses? What are you doing?
Right now I'm preparing the thesis. I didn't decide what is going to be. Maybe about NiftyFuse. Who knows if my I don't know, baby.
Yes, yes. Well, okay, very good. Yes, I suspect it definitely might be on NFTs, but yes. Okay,
it's a
very
little
good.
it's a little bit difficult because here in Portugal they still think that crypto is a scam, so it may be difficult. It's sad,
Okay.
but it's true.
Well, do you know every yes, I understand, and all we can do is move forward one step at a time, and it's amazing how people's opinions change across time. None of us
Yes.
have fixed opinions, I discovered.
More
So yes.
important is to create products and try to deny their thesis by just creating things that are useful to
Yes.
people and
Yeah.
and create more value in the space.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. But thank you for mentioning what you're doing and also your own challenges based on where you live. I've noticed that you have announced a partnership with NullSwap. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's a small partnership. I went to them to make a partnership. I like to do partnerships with everybody because I like to create value in the space. And I went to talk to them, and I asked if I could open a pool and etc. And if they will help me to create the pool because it's uncertain when they will launch, etc. And they said that they will help, and when they launch, there will be a pool to trade Fuse. That is the token of NiftyFuse and NullSwap.
Okay, that's great. And can you tell us a little bit about the Fuse token? What can I do with my Fuse token and that kind of thing?
Yes. Fuse token is a tracker of the value created by the platform NiftyFuse. Basically, you will have to hold tokens to fuse two NFTs into one. More than that, you will have the governance power with your tokens, which will decide the future of the platform. That is something that we are trying to develop. Very similar with already platforms like Super Rare, etc. But yeah, governance, mint, and fuse NFTs. One feature that I can't talk about yet will need tokens to be used, and a little more features that I can't disclose now. But yeah, basically right now it's governance and fuse NFTs.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. I got to tell you, one of the things that I think is really very compelling, and it's not something that all projects can take the opportunity to do, is to provide immediate value to one's token. And you are successful in doing that because every time I earn, when I invest in your project and I earn tokens, I can immediately spend your tokens on fusing two NFTs or together. Of course, so
Exactly.
I think that's fabulous. I think it's great. There's a couple of projects that immediately provide value to their tokens, and you guys are one of them.
That is
and
one of the most important targets of our token, because if the token has no value, it doesn't need to exist. And we have that perspective that if a token exists, it has to have value.
Yeah, very, very good. And so I got another question, and this is actually the last question that I have written down here, and that is that you're going to so let's say I fuse two NFTs together, and I say I want to burn my old NFTs, and so you talk about the losing the royalties of the burned NFTs. Can you just spend a few minutes expanding on that for me, for all of us?
The creators normally is the ones that receive the royalties, and if you fuse them, they will lose the royalties. So we are working in a way that they will not lose those royalties, because they are the legit creators of those artworks, for example. So we invented a mechanism that if a fused NFT is sold, the legit creators, the original creators of the NFTs will receive the 50% of the royalties of the fused NFT.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you for that clarification. And all right, very good. Michael, can I pass it back to you now?
Of course, of course. I have a very, very, very important question, because everybody loves partnerships. You talked about a very important thing there. You got a partnership with Realtor.com, and can you expand on that? Talk to us about it.
I didn't understood the platform that you said.
Realtor.com. You said something earlier about having a
It
partnership.
was,
I misunderstand you.
Realestate.co. It's not that platform. I know that platform too, but we didn't yet contact them or tried anything with them. We know that they are a very prominent platform in the market, but we are not ready to do a partnership already with them. We are waiting to develop our platform and then present them a way of partnership with them. That is, for example, what we were thinking was to, if you hold a lot of investments, a representation of those investments would be an NFT, a unique NFT, and you will not need to move the tokens of each investment every time you want to sell. For example, if you want to sell all of them at one time, you can just sell the NFT and get the tokens. That is one feature that I was not supposed to disclose, but that will happen. That if you have those investments fused in one NFT, you can sell them at once in our platform and get back the tokens from the investments.
Man, that's awesome. And I really didn't mean to make you give up something, but at the same time there, we always like to get the new knowledge. So that's awesome. Before we open it up to questions from the audience, I do have to ask one last final question. You know, you being a young, educated guy, what got you into crypto to begin with? You know, can you give us a little bit of an origin story there for the audience?
My story is a little bit crazy, because the first time I got contact with crypto, it was a scammer that was trying to scam me for money. So basically, he was trying to scam me, but I didn't fall in this conversation. But I liked the way that Bitcoin worked, because only when you have at your side, for example, you can. It was like digital gold for me. It was always like that, and even that was a scammer that presented me crypto and Bitcoin, I still tried to figure out more about what was it, why was so many people using Bitcoin in other countries, because here in Portugal it wasn't used that much, but I already heard about it in the news, etc., in other countries, and I wanted to develop more of that. And then I got in Ethereum, then in other blockchains, and I started to develop Solidity contracts, and that got me here developing NiftyFuse. In the you said that all the EVM. You said something a little bit ago that the platform will only be available on the EVM compatible chains, but we will be in the Nulls ecosystem too. So it's only to clarify that.
Okay, thank you. This is the first time I've heard a story about a scam where one benefited from the scam. So
I know.
thanks, Pedro. That's actually really good.
Good for him.
I think that's really good. Michael, I'm going to take it back, and we have a few questions here. The first one is from Zayto. Will NiftyFuse have any other collaborations with other projects on the Nulls chain? In other words, do you have any more collaborations, or are you working on any collaborations that you can speak about that are in progress?
NullSwap is already public, but it's not a partnership, but obviously our NFTs will be available on NFT Circle for buy. Anyone will be able to buy our fused NFTs in NFT Circle, but that is not exactly a partnership. It's more like using the capabilities that the platforms in the space already gave us. And that's it. There is no more partnerships in the Nulls ecosystem yet.
At this time.
At this time.
That works for me. Yeah, thank you. And do want to say that Francisco has already voted in here. He says, I'm always bullish with so many projects in null space. So thank you for your promotion there, Francisco. And Joe asked the question, how will the NFT airdrop work for an NFT airdrop to null space, to null swap, excuse me?
That is a feature of our partnership with NullSwap. We will airdrop 10 fused NFTs to 10 buyers of NullSwap, the public sale.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Pedro. I got to tell you that although I try to remain neutral in these conversations, I'm very impressed with the thought that you and your team have put into these plans for what you're up to. It's thank you for your discussion on your roadmap here. And I'm also going to take the opportunity, since I'm speaking at the moment. You used a phrase when I Googled you. You used a phrase that I think is a great one to remember, and that is, our instincts allow us to survive, but it's our intelligence that allows us to live. So I thought that was a great one. Okay. That's all the questions we have from the community. Michael, any additional questions from you?
Yes, of course. I would definitely like to ask this guy one or two more questions. I know we are about to run out of time here, and we obviously have to end everything that we're doing today with Simona coming back in one last time to talk about our promotion, because we always have to do that. That's part of our ecosystem. It's what we do. So, but yeah, going back to Pedro here. So you got to talk to me again, man. You seem like a very intelligent guy. tell me about like your investable side of the house, if you can. I know that like you might not be able to talk about that, but are you actually out there investing in anything? If you got a preference of Bitcoin over Ethereum or anything, just give the audience a little insight of one of the main guys, because you also sound like a dev. I feel like you're the guy actually writing code back there in the back end to make all this happen. So if they know about your actual crypto and crypto and investing experience, as well as the fact that you know how to write code, man, I think the audience would love to hear this, as well as the fact that the Knowles ecosystem is happy to have you. Talk to me, man.
Oh, I am very bullish on those. That is for certain. More than those, I'm usually invested in Ethereum, compounds, DeFi. In all of the DeFi projects, I have compounds. All these projects that allow us to create a new financial system. I'm in all of these projects. More than that, recently I'm bullish on NuSwap. I have to say it because NuSwap will allow people to trade multiple assets from different chains. For example, if you have assets in the Binance Smart Chain, you will be able to trade it to Polygon in a factor of 1-to-1 in just a few seconds and with low fees. And that, for me, is very bullish. And the tokenomics that they created, for me, are perfect. And more than NuSwap, NiftyFuse, obviously, and other projects that are now happening in the Polkadot parachains. I don't know if you know what they are developing, but it's a great project too. And the DEXs that will be connected to parachains will be awesome, in my opinion. I would like to thank you for this opportunity to present NiftyFuse and give a special word to Joe, because he was the one that presented me to Sam to enter the POCM platform, and that make us here today.
Okay, it's a great acknowledgement, Joe. Thank you for representing Pedro and NiftyFuse. That's great. Thank you. And Joe is the community manager for Portugal, I believe. What is your role, Joe? Okay. Well, silence is means that he agrees with me.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that Joe is the community manager for
Well,
Portugal.
there's also Noel. Noel's the community manager as well.
Did you call me?
Yeah, I did. So, Joe, NiftyFuse and Pedro were just thanking you for your role in promoting them to the SEO platform. And Joe, are you the community manager for Portugal as well as Brazil? Can you just tell me what your role is?
Yeah. I'm community manager for Portuguese languages. That includes all people that talks Portuguese, like Brazil,
Okay, very good. Very
like
good. Okay.
Africa, Angola, and so on. So yeah.
Okay, very good.
It's not only that. I'm community manager on Bitcoin Portugal. I'm community manager in a lot of communities in Portugal of crypto. Yeah.
Okay, and you also have a podcast that is in Portuguese as well, right?
Unfortunately, my podcast was censored last week, so we were banned from YouTube, and now we are trying to solve it. But
okay, so all right, so you had all right. Okay, thanks for that full disclosure there. And it's 6 minutes to the hour, so we're going to start to wrap up. And Simona is no longer with us. It is late at night where Simona is, so I think she's She's getting some important sleep there. So I'll
No
just
worries.
wrap up for Simona on her behalf. I just encourage you guys to speak to everybody that you know and encourage them to stake in our SEO projects. And there's 2 weeks left for this competition, and it's never too late to stake in an SEO project. In my humble opinion, the SEO platform is one of the best features that we have.
Hey, Kathy,
Okay.
I think Joe is trying to say something. Let him go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was talking with my friend that forget case on the car. Sorry.
No worries,
Okay.
buddy. Get in there
It's
and talk to
okay,
us for the
Joe.
last couple of minutes, man. You got a question directly for Pedro? You want to talk to us? Come on, man. Community loves hearing from you, buddy.
I know Pedro. It's my friend, and I know very well the project. I'm very enthusiastic for NiftyFuse because it's a differential on the market, right? There is nothing like that. So I always support ideas that can change something on the market. So the Pedro's idea, it's genial for me, and I think it's for all because it's innovative. Do you agree, Michael?
Oh, I think it's wonderful, man. I agree 100%. And I love the fact that this is an actual personal friend of yours that's coming to the table. So you can kind of vouch for the guy. You know, I've already gotten an assessment of him. He seems very intelligent, very educated, and very involved in his project, all the way down to the coding aspect. So the fact that you come to the table as well and you're like, yeah, man, I know this guy. I'm personal friends with him. Man, that's all I really need to hear, dude. I mean, if I were a community member, I want to be involved in NiftyFuse at this point in time.
Exactly. I think we need more people like Pedro, like young people like him that are already young, right? But with a great vision. So I think we should be grateful to Pedro that are using our platform Nulls, because he saw the capabilities that Nulls have to compete on the market. So I think it's very, very great.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. It's a great way to wrap it up. Michael, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say that next week, the actual guest next week is going to be myself. I literally want to take next week to talk about the things that Cobalt is doing. And we very well may have one of our projects come on that we're actually helping launch. And we'll talk about that more next week. But yeah, I just want to let everybody know that next week's guest will just be me and Kathy talking, and we are going to focus on the things that Cobalt is doing within the ecosystem. So,
yeah, I want to congratulate you, Michael, because I saw the last news that Cobalt token will be available on NFT Circle. So congrats, man! Great achievement.
thanks, buddy. Thanks. It'll also be available on Null Swap too, right here very shortly. We're one of the flagship projects that's going to be heading that up as well. We just signed a deal with Charity Water Foundation to be their mint partner to produce an NFT collection for them as well. Huge international organization for charity. And again, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we are going to talk about next week, because again, I just want to catch everybody up on what Cobalt is doing. So, but yeah, right there, guys, I want to make sure that everybody also takes your screenshots. Anybody that participated, put your questions in there today. Make sure you get it over to Kathy. Also, make sure that you're participating in our Stakeathon. We're putting a lot of effort into these promotions, guys. We really want you involved. And other than that, I really want to thank Pedro for being here and being part of the SEO platform. You guys are absolutely awesome. Can't wait to be here next week the same time. And next week, I actually get to talk about myself. So, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, and congrats for new swap. I forget.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, it's always great to talk about Null Swap, and I see that Thor's Hammer is here. Possibly some of his colleagues as well. I just always notice Thor's Hammer because he's beaming in from Asgard. So that's very important. Okay, guys, our hour is up. I want to thank you, Michael, for another great Crypto Corner. And Pedro, thanks again for joining us. We're very excited about your project, as you can tell. And please, guys, take a screenshot of yourself participating in our video chat, not video story, I should just say Telegram chat here. And then send them to me at Kathy N13. I will post my Telegram ID after this. And I'm going to turn off the recording now, but I'll leave this on for a few minutes so that you guys can get your screenshot. Thank you for your continued commitment and interest in this 1 hour event. Okay. Thanks, guys. And I'm turning the recording off now.